Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for...
I told him when I come back we're going swimming. So, tell everybody thank you for them. Скажи, дякую.
Дякую.
Не, английский.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, что? Very much. Еще раз.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Future president of Ukraine right here. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It is November the 13th, 2024, and tonight we're going to have a really, really good time together. I want to thank you for being here. It is quite an interesting week that is unfolding, and on this Friday night, we're going to do several things. Tonight, I'm going to focus completely on looking at the front lines. Additionally, right before the live stream started, I was able to translate President Zelensky's evening address to the Ukrainians. That's the one I like to play. I appreciate the other videos when he's talking on the international stage, when he's talking to the world, press, media. But when he speaks to the Ukrainians, that's the one that I like to translate for the world to hear, because then you get to hear a little bit of the inside, what they're talking about. And we'll start with that up early. As you can tell, I'm still in my mobile studio here in Virginia, and hey, Faker, welcome there, North Allegheny County. You're from my neck of the woods. I live in Mercer County, north of you there, northwestern Pennsylvania. Right now, I'm in the state of Virginia. I've been speaking down here. Also had some family time with my wife and some of my with quite a few members of my family. This is my original roots here in Central Virginia. Leslie Bowe, let me tell you this. Thank you for being so dedicated to be here at 3:20 in the morning in Spain. Thank you for that so much. Rick Berry, I see people talking to you. If you're in here, welcome. There you are. Slava Ukraini, Rick Berry, our Vietnam veteran. Thought about you on Veterans Day there, Rick Berry. Thank you, thank you. I also saw early in the chat, oh, here we go. Let's just have some fun tonight on the live. Jason, 2:20 a.m. here in the UK, 6:22 in Yakima Oblastas. Very nice. So thank you guys. Tonight we are giving away a battle flag. We've gained a lot of new subscribers this week. Thank you for that. If you're here and you're new and this is your first live stream, this is not my typical setup for live stream. I have a studio at home where I base and do a lot of my work when I'm not traveling in Ukraine or in other places of the world, and much more professional. I can show you a lot of graphics and videos and interactions and do all of that. On the road, I have a mobile setup. A little more difficult, but we get it done. I will be speaking here in Virginia tomorrow night and Friday night. Then Saturday, I will be returning back to Pennsylvania. And then home next week, we'll be putting out, of course, our daily videos. And I hope you guys are appreciating the facts only, or frontline facts. Those seem to be well appreciated. Not only from my community, but from those that are joining the community. Get right to it and tell us the facts. Greg, if you want to give us your opinion, give it to us on a live stream and we can discuss it. But when it comes to, like a 7-8 minute video, just give us the facts. So we will continue doing that. In fact, there will be a video coming out most likely tomorrow to address something that I've been watching in the Discord, chatted about all day. With that in mind, if you have not joined our Discord, please consider doing so. It's a very atypical Discord. Lots of different backgrounds, views, beliefs, but with all of that, it's a place of community and a place of coming together. And they're in there sharing recipes and family photos, and we get to watch Papa Dutch go crazy in there and all these things. It's really good. But today I noticed a lot of conversation, and I do read through all the channels, guys. I noticed a lot of conversations about the presidential nominations here in the United States, and people were talking about it. My recommendation for you guys before we get going is patience, because there is a process to this, and I will be talking with Professor Gertis tomorrow. We're going to be doing a video on it, because many people, Americans, and especially those from other parts of the world that follow our channels, do not completely understand the process for nomination of cabinet positions and other positions. Maybe you guys didn't know this, but Professor Gertis's PhD is actually in the Constitution. So he knows the Constitution. So back to the flag, guys. We're going to be giving away a autographed battle flag. And guys, here it is. Fish autographed it. Right there on the front lines, you should be seeing this good. And then to the left of Fish, his partner that was there with him on the front line that day drew a picture of Taras Shevchenko, one of the most famous Ukrainians for giving Ukraine a lot of culture and linguistics, and just like I don't want to call it a founding father, but he is just a father of Ukraine, Taras Shevchenko. So very, very important person, and we'll be giving this flag away. I'm going to jump right into the information I'm going to be sharing with you. We're going to look only at the front lines tonight and listen to President Zelensky's evening address. If you're here tonight and you have never done this before, this is how you do it. The moderators will be putting continual, I see Duncan, you just popped it in there, flag, or it's pinned in the YouTube chat. Let's see. What you do then, I'm reading a message over here. What you do then is you click the link there. It will take you to just a little Google form. You put your name or your YouTube handle and your email address. As soon as the night is over, I delete the sheet as soon as the person has replied to me. So emails are not shared or sold or anything of that nature, of course. I'm just going to use your name. You must be present to win, and we will look at giving that flag away in about 45 or 50 minutes from now. So if you sign up for the flag and you've got to bounce out for a minute, make sure you're here and you're back, because we'll give it, I'll call the name, we'll spin the wheel, and it'll be like 2 minutes for the person to say, and the mods will be watching it. So that's how we do it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back to that in a little bit. Let me do this. Rachel Dobbs, thank you for becoming an engineer on the Hope Train. That is the name of our community. We want to offer hope, especially in the world in which we live, which is very dark. Dunk on you, my man, always here supporting us and supporting Ukraine. Thank you for that $20 super chat and gifting the 10 memberships. Appreciate that. Ukraine FPU 10 member for 1 month, gifting a membership. Thank you for that. Leslie Bow, member 6 months. Member for 8 months. Conductor, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you guys so much. Let me check one thing here, and away we go. Boom. Leslie Bow, member for 8 months. Conductor Greg, you need to join Blue Sky NAFO on the move. It's better for Ukraine. So Leslie Bow, let me share something with you. Getting ready to do a NAFO project. In fact, guys, you know it is it's not Friday. Maggie, okay, you got me. I've been going hard for 3 weeks. You're right. It is. It's not Friday. It's Wednesday. Battle flag Wednesday. Everybody's saying they're joining Blue Sky today. Mitch Ashdown joining Blue Sky. Yeah, we're going to be doing some NAFO partner projects. I will look into the Blue Sky. Lil Fox 25, NAFO in the house. Salute to you. Thank you so much. So stay tuned. In fact, we've got something special we're going to partner on. I told you guys, for those of you that have been around a long time, if you're here new, we're completing right now deliveries of our third and fourth Cossavacs armored medical evacuation vehicles, fully tricked out. In fact, I can tell you right now that Zhenya's on the front. Zhenya and our team is there delivering our third and fourth Cossavacs. You will be seeing video about that any day now. Additionally, he also has our drone team there, and they are modifying the drone detectors and jammers that we have equipped all four of the vehicles with, updating them with the latest frequencies. If you're here tonight and you don't know what we do, we have a full nonprofit there in Ukraine, and we're pushing, partnering with Bethel Life here in Pennsylvania and the United States, and all of our partners around the world. We're pushing them. We're knocking on the door of $1 million of aid. So, knocking on the door. It's getting up there. And so thankful for all that we're doing. And the aid is delivered to the front and only directly to the front lines, hand to hand only. So, Zhenya is there. You will be seeing reports about that. Wanted to update you guys on that. So, thank you. Bad Boys Club, how's it looking for Trump aid to Ukraine? I see that question there. Bad Boys Club podcast. I think we wait on that. And that's what I'm going to encourage all of you guys. I have it right now in my notes for you tonight. There are so many different narratives going on that whether it be European narratives, and I know you've been watching videos this week and you've become educated, and thank you for doing that. You know, Britain has their viewpoint. France has their viewpoint. Britain and France coming together saying, okay, we're going to put the pressure on President Biden. We're going to put the pressure on Donald Trump. We want to release the scalps into Ukraine to be used long distance, Russian targets, but they're utilized through American equipment. So we need that partnership. Germany coming in today with further air defense, additionally a sixth IRIS system coming to Ukraine by the end of this calendar year, guys, which is winding down. We are almost, halfway through November? Yeah, November the 13th here in the U.S., 14th if you're across the pond or in Australia. So a lot of good things, a lot of narratives. Then you have the American election. You have the transition of power that is in place. That's typical. We have President-elect Trump. He met with Joseph Biden. The inauguration will be January 20th. The cabinet and nominations are being proposed to be built. All this stuff happening. With that said, here's what I encourage all of you to do. Be patient. Be very, very patient. Because I promise you, this war is changing every day. We talk to our guys on the front every day. There's some good news, and there's some bad news. And tonight we're going to look at some of the bad news on the front. I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm here to tell you the truth, because it's the truth that wins. On the front, we're struggling a bit, but on the back side, we're doing some really good things, and that is in reference to Kyiv and a lot of the infrastructure for the Ukrainian war machine that's standing against Russia. So that's where we're at. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. I appreciate all of you. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start tonight with President Zelensky's statement. I want you to hear this. I encourage you to hear this. Just a couple of minutes. I've subtitled it, and it's in English for you. This is President Zelensky speaking to Ukrainians just a couple of hours ago.
Greetings, dear Ukrainians. A brief update for today. First, thanks to our air defense forces protecting our skies. nightly downing of Russian drones and missiles. This morning, we shot down Russian ballistics. Each success saves Ukrainian lives. Ukraine's grateful to all helping partners. We're working to increase partner supplies of anti-missile systems, air defenses, and all needed to boost our mobile fire groups. Our goal, partner cooperation to produce locally. I spoke with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz today about air defense and anti-missile systems. Germany leads in supporting our air defense, and we discussed supplying another IRIS-T system and further developing our air shield. We also discussed the Ramstein format, a cooperation that has greatly benefited Ukraine and all. This is our joint strength. We're coordinating with partners to ensure Ukraine's position is represented in all relevant discussions. Only together can the world guarantee truly lasting peace and stability in international relations. The commander of the Syrskyi front reported, the focus is on the Donetsk region and the occupiers' attempts to expand offensive actions, particularly in the Kupiansk direction. I'm grateful to all our units for their resilience. I want to commend the combat brigades that have shown exceptional bravery and effectiveness these days. The 4th Separate Mechanized Brigade, the 44th Separate Brigade, Artillery 60th, 65th Mechanized, 68th Jaeger, 102nd, 124th, 126th TDF Brigades, 128th Mountain Assault, and 406th Artillery Brigades. Well done, warriors. One more thing. We're actively working on Ukraine's internal resilience plan. It'll strengthen what we presented to Partners for Victory. We met with officials, state company heads, presidential staff, and the National Security Secretary. We're including NGO proposals and will continue discussions with experts. We need a detailed approach to help Ukraine withstand and push Russia to peace. We're consolidating all internal forces. Thanks to all who helped. Glory to Ukraine.
There you have it, guys. So I encourage you, and I will translate them whenever I'm on a live stream to the best of my ability, or even share them in a standalone short video. That's what you listen to and who you listen to. Cheryl Waitley, I want to thank you for that comment. That's back to talking about the potential, some of the potential cabinet members for President-elect Donald Trump. Thune, Senate Majority Leader, is best. Mike Waltz, National Security Advisor, is good. Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, is okay. That's the end of the good news. Cheryl, that's really good analysis right there. To be honest with you, I agree with you on a lot of that. Now, guys, I want to go over what Zelensky just said. Pay attention to what Zelensky said. Number one, he said, thank you to our air defense. Last night and this week, there has been some probing activity into Ukraine. So let me explain this to you how it happens. What Russia does when they are looking to launch a large-scale missile attack against Ukraine, specifically against civilian targets and energy infrastructure, here's what they do. They will probe Ukraine nonstop. And what that means is a majority of the drones that are coming in are loaded with cameras. And many times, the reason these drones are able to fly around so much is because of lack of air defense or lack of positioning or where they're flying and the altitude at which they're flying. It's difficult to catch them. Ukraine does a very good job, but a lot of these drones that are not loaded with munitions are running with cameras. And then embedded into these drones are actual Ukrainian SIM cards. For example, Kyivstar, Life, Vodafone. And when they come into Ukraine, they'll switch them and they're hitting Ukrainian cell towers. So they're gathering a lot of data and triangulating and pinging off that so they can continue to control them. Guys, there's no way to stop that, okay? There's no way to stop that. And I would not be surprised. I haven't had confirmation of it on what I'm telling you about Russia. I've seen them with my own eyeballs and held them in my own hands. But on Ukraine's side, I'm sure that Ukraine is also using similar technology for drone attacks into Russia. because you want as many avenues to communicate as possible. So these drones are flying around all week, and they're cameraing. They're running probing attacks to see where air defense is located. Of course, then Ukraine wants to make their adjustments. Then what happens is what happened last night. We had a large-scale drone attack. So over 90 drones, about 42 of them, I think is the number, was taken out. Some went off target, and others just flew until they run out of gas and they fall out of the sky. That's what Ukraine says when they just fly around, and they run out of fuel and they fall out of the sky. But they're sending back data. I have seen these drones above my head. I have heard them. I have watched them. If I had weapons with me, I would have shot at them. It's just reality. Most Ukrainians, seriously, most Ukrainians have seen Shaheeds flying over their heads, and most Ukrainians have seen cruise ballistic missiles flying over their head. It's a normal thing, unfortunately. So last night in the attack, we have a combination of all those drones, but a few ballistics. A couple of ballistics, a couple of S-300s, and what is happening is Ukraine is knowing that Russia is preparing a large attack. They began to talk about it with their people. And internally in Ukraine right now, they're talking about it. They're telling the Ukrainians, pay attention, get in the bomb shelters. You may have seen some news on Twitter today where the Kyiv metro was down because it was so loaded with people trying to protect themselves from missile attacks, and Kyiv has been hit so hard. Why is it more right now than maybe 2 weeks ago where people were not paying such close attention? Because after almost 3 years of war, Ukrainians, when I'm there, I've spent 12 months on the front lines in this war, you really learn when it's just terrible to say, but when it's serious or not. And right now, we're looking at another potential serious missile attack on Ukraine. And when I say that, that's 40, 50, 60, 70 cruise missiles flying, coming from airplanes, coming from naval ships, and in addition with drones. It's coming. It's coming. So that's what's happening. That is why President Zelensky said, thank you to our air defense. You did a great job. The second thing he said was, we're going to begin to produce internally more, meaning maybe. Okay, remember, he's talking to Ukrainians. We're going to produce more internally. So, of course, he's encouraging people to work. He's encouraging people to get the factories rolling. But he's also encouraging them that, hey, if you're hearing bad news right now from the U.S., or you're hearing bad news from Europe, or you're hearing bad news from Australia, and I'm not saying there's bad news from Australia, Europe, or the U.S. I'm just stating, if you're hearing bad news, do not be so disheartened, because we're working also internally with ourselves. So that is good. I see also Dunk on You today does not know the day as I don't. So I don't know the day, and my mods doesn't know the day. It's Flag Wednesday. That's what we're on right now. Flag Wednesday. So Ukraine, it's good news, is working on internal production. He then said, we are wanting other nations to represent Ukraine well on the international stage, so our narrative is continued to be spread upon nations. He was specifically referring to the upcoming G20 meeting and the desire for the world to understand. He then, and listen like this, he then said, here is the Siersky report. Did you guys hear that? It was right in the statement. Here is the Siersky report. He said, 2 areas of trouble. Number 1, Donetsk. And when he said Donetsk, that means the Donetsk region. And I will show that to you on a map in just a moment. And then his second trouble area is Kupiansk. So this is Zelensky himself saying, we're struggling in Donetsk and we're struggling in Kupiansk. If you're here tonight and you're wondering what region Kupiansk is in, Kupiansk is actually in Kharkiv Oblast. Kupiansk is in the Kharkiv Oblast. Now, the last thing he said was, we are working on a resilience plan, meaning we're going to stand strong as Ukrainians regardless. We're working with private sector companies and leaders. We're working with state organizations and leaders. And then did you hear the third thing he said? We're working with NGOs to expand our technology. Let me tell you why that is so important. Zhenya is the president of our NGO inside Ukraine. Our NGO is called, in Ukrainian, Napram. Napram in the Ukrainian language means direction. Okay, like north, south, east, west, direction. Okay. Our drone guy, I'm just telling you. We have two guys that are on our drone team. I won't even call their names just for OPSEC because they've been on my videos and you may have seen them or not, but we have two guys, part of our team. They're brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant when it comes to drone technology, radar technology, electrical engineering. These guys will actually take drone jammer components and pieces, or the drone jammer itself from the company that's manufacturing it. And then our guys completely reprogram the drone jammers. The drone jammers that our team, Napram, is putting out is better than what is coming out of private companies producing drone jammers by light years. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you, our guys are that good. That is why President Zelensky said, we're working with NGOs. They are figuring it out so that some of the brightest minds defending Ukraine are in the non-governmental organizations, in these volunteer organizations that have nonprofit status inside Ukraine, which is not easy to get. We're a fully registered NGO. There's a lot of brain power in there and a lot of support for the Ukrainian nation and military effort. So I personally am very thankful, and I hope that helps you guys understand a bit as well how powerful it is. So, reminder, Niels Clement, dunk on you, thank you. I'm watching that over here. Niels Clement, member for 6 months, gifting 10 memberships tonight. Thank you, Niels. Dunk on you, coming in from the Weasel, 3 quid. Thank you for that over there in the UK. Marshall Jones, I hope I win the flag. Good luck to you, Marshall Jones. I'll give this last reminder, and then our mods will take it from here because I'm diving into the map, and I've got to focus on my screen here because I don't have all my screens. This is the flag. Tonight you have a chance to win that. I'll raffle it off. I'll spin the names at the end. Autographed by Fish and his partner, who drew Shevchenko. This is directly from the Frontline. And it's not a raffle. You don't buy a ticket. It's just the Ukrainian soldiers' way of saying thank you. I had 50 of these made by Fish and his partner. And we still have quite a few to give away. And we want to thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You're going to see my back-end production screen because I'm mobile right now. Nick in the house. Welcome. In Time Independent News, my friend. Yeah, Featherhat. Nick, I'll be home Saturday, back in the regular studio, and we'll get together on a live for you and for me. Thank you for that, my friend. Guys, Nick, good guy over there at End Time Independent News. So, here we go. I'm going to be focusing on this. Mods in the chat will take care of everything else in regard to the flag. I can tell you right now, we have 78 people registered hoping to win a flag. If you haven't done it, 232 watching right now. If you're watching, make sure you hit the like. We'd appreciate that. Tell somebody else. Make sure you sign up for a flag. There's no spam. None of that involved. You just have a chance to win this beautiful thing from the front. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to look at the map together now and do what I've been promising you, a deep dive look at the front. I've got to go to that, and you see all my back end stuff working, and then I go to that. Okay, can you guys get a confirmation in the chat? I can give an Andrew Mercado here. Can you give a plus if you see the map? Because I can't tell. I don't want to go back to the other one. Ministry for the Recovery of Stolen Toilets, who is a former winner of a flag. Welcome from Australia. All right, here we go. Guys, this is the nation of Ukraine, and this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to look at the topographical map and a little bit, and then we'll look at some aerial satellite a little bit. I'm going to go around this map, and yes, I prepared for this stream for the last couple of hours, so what I'm going to give you is the latest, the absolute latest, and of every place. I want to start, though, by talking about Kyiv. And Kyiv right now is under continual assault. So I don't know if messages are trying to be spread or this is saber rattling. Of course, it's not saber rattling as missiles drop on Kyiv. Air defense doing a good job. Drones flying around. I can tell you personally that in Kyiv, Zhenya, my partner's wife's parents, and that is also where the legend Pavel Ivanovich lives. They were struck by a shaheed about 40 meters from their home. They took some damage. Their car took extreme damage. So it really hit home for us. So these shaheeds are dropping almost daily on Kyiv. So Kyiv being struck quite regularly. I then want to go north. I'm going to come up into this area. I'm going to talk about this region all at one time. This is the basic border of Ukraine here, and I want to do this entire section at one time. Maybe you do not know. I'll give you a little geography lesson right now really quickly. Here is Kyiv. If you ever wonder where Chernobyl is right there. And just a side note, the reason that so much damage happened internally inside Ukraine when Chernobyl accident happened in 1986 was because of this Dnipro River that flows down from Chernobyl. So it just poisoned a lot of territory and the water table. So that has nothing to do with the military update, but just a little side note in geography for you to learn where Chernobyl is. So first place I want to look at is Chernihiv, and Chernihiv is the oblast that is due north of Kyiv. And when Zhenya and I make runs, we typically run the entire front line, which in no particular order, but we literally run like this. And it may be backwards, but we typically run the entire front. So we typically on one run, we're rolling about 2,000 kilometers. It's hard work. It's very hard work. There's nothing glamorous about it at all, and it's extremely dangerous. And Zhenya's out there tonight with our team. So back to Chernihiv. What we have here is simple. Ukraine does have forces dotted along because right here is where the Russian border is. Okay. If I come over and just give you red here, this is Belarusia. Right there. That's all Belarusia. So this is not OPSEC, guys. This is common information. So, of course, Ukraine has defenses scattered here, and Chernihiv is hit regularly with shaheeds, and Chernihiv is hit regularly with S-300s. And I know you see a C there, but it's the S-300. Let's see. sounds S in Russian or Ukrainian. What we have here, though, and let me erase again and then come back in one more time, we have DRG. And DRG are Russian special forces that come across the border everywhere. And guys, when I say everywhere, you can see what I'm drawing here. Everywhere. They come in for probing missions. They come in to drop mines. They come in to dress up in regular clothes and go into shops and buy SIM cards. I'm telling you, this is what's happening. They work these areas. So, of course, Ukraine has to have defenses scattered all the way across this border and pay attention to it. So that's what's happening in the North Chernihiv area and pushing over into the Sumi Oblast. Now I want to come down and talk specifically about Sumi and Kursk. I'm going to debunk a narrative that is out there right now. First, I'm going to draw in the basic Russian-Ukrainian border there in the black line. You can see where, let me go blue here, Ukraine has done their Kursk offensive, and that started 100 days ago, if you were wondering, 100 days ago. And Ukraine has been on the receiving end of a counteroffensive, but I'm going to tell you something tonight. The Ukrainian forces in Kupiansk are fighting valiantly. I'm talking about valiantly. They are outmanned. They are outgunned. Are they losing some of the ground they gained? Yes, they've lost about 500 square kilometers. At the max, they held, Ukraine did, about 1150. Now they're holding about 600. Regardless, they're doing a great job. Russia is, I will confirm 100%, Russia is reinforcing with up to 50,000 Russian soldiers. And Vladimir Putin has put, as he's done so often, so I'm not saying listen to it, I'm just telling you the facts. He's put a date on, it wasn't January the 20th, guys. Everybody, it was out there in the media. Oh, Vladimir Putin said by January 20th, all the Ukrainians have to be pushed back across the border. That is not true. Vladimir Putin gave the date December the 31st, 2024. He wanted by the end of 2024, he said, by the end of 2024, please push the Ukrainians out. So the media runs with, oh, well, it's January 20th because it's on Inauguration Day and they've got to be out. That is not true. The date that was given, and of course it's before the inauguration, but the date given was the last day of 2024. I can tell you that the 50,000 Russian soldiers are there, plus there are 10 to 12,000 North Korean soldiers there. There's a lot of Russian and North Korean soldiers on this border trying to push Ukraine out. Ukraine is fighting valiantly and doing an amazing job there. So if you want good news tonight on the front, the Ukrainian invasion into the Kursk Oblast is some of the best news that Ukraine has on the front, bar none. They are holding Russian sovereign territory valiantly in the face of an army that keeps sending people and people and people and North Koreans and armored vehicles and artillery and drones. And Ukraine is still holding on. Guys, there are heroes right there. And that map I'm showing you. Now, the next thing that I want to show you and I want to debunk is Sumi. If you're watching your social media, you're hearing this. Russia is making plans to invade Sumi. It's everywhere on social media right now. And I can confirm for you, and I'll go to this green color right. I thought I went to green. I'm going to green now. Right over here in this area, somewhere in that area, in this area, Russia is building a military base, and there is a large buildup of further equipment and Russian soldiers in that region right there. Now, people are taking and running with it. That is not a part of the 50 guys or the 10 to 12 North Koreans. This is a separate buildup. That Russia is coming for Sumi. Guys, let me tell you something. There's not a snowball chance in you know where that they can come across that border and take Sumi. I'm just telling you. So if you want good news, here's the border again. This is Sumi. Sumi is well defended. I have spent a lot of time in the city of Sumi. I have spent a lot of time in the Kotin area, Bilopilia, Buren, Konotop, Putvul, all of these areas, Krasnopilia, and then a lot of this zone right here. Zhenya and our team, meaning you are a part of that. If you help us, thank you for that. We support a ton of soldiers in that area. In that area. Everywhere there. I've been right on the Russian border in that area. I've put my feet in Russia, being out with the guys. We know this area very well, and you want good news tonight? There is not a snowball's chance in you know where that Russia can take Sumi with current conditions. No way. Sumi is one of the best defended cities in all of Ukraine. That is not OPSEC. That is reality and public knowledge. Cheryl saying, I hear, oh, I got to go back to the screen now. I shouldn't have done that. You got to see my mess now here. I hear Sumi is very beautiful. Oh, Kaylin said that. And yes, I will tell you right now that Sumi is one of the most beautiful cities in all of Ukraine. In fact, on the Kaylin topic, he and I will be doing a video together here very soon. Papa Dutch has woke up. He has got off of his Stargazer game or Star Watch or Star something. I see you, Papa Dutch, out there playing the games. And Papa Dutch in the house. By 31st December, Kursk will be renamed Honest Genius Metal Recycling. Yeah, I can tell you there is a lot of that going on. So thank you for that, Papa Dutch. Aaron Miles, thank you for gifting the one membership. Matrix member for 6 months, $5 super chat. Thank you. How can secure ideas be sent to you? Matrix, what you do to contact me is, I'm not pumping it, I'm just telling you. I'm active in our community Discord, and moderators always help if I don't see it to get a message directly to me. And secondly, you can go to my website and hit contact and send me an email, and I get that as well. So thank you. So guys, there is Sumi. There is the good news. And honestly, it's good news. Don't listen to anything else on this. Now, we're going to start changing a little bit, unfortunately. I'm going to draw in the border. I hope you guys are enjoying this tonight, focusing only on the front lines, no other news. And I drew that wrong. That was bad. That was a bad mistake. Here we go. That's a better. So, that's the border. Russia, Vovchansk. Nothing has really changed there other than I can tell you there is no Vovchansk. The city here is gone. It's gone. It's level to the ground. It looks like, honestly, Vovchansk is probably the most leveled city. You know, I was going to say it looks like Bakhmut or Avdiivka, But I'll tell you, Vovchansk is worse. And as bad as the pictures you've seen of Avdiivka and Bakhmut, Vovchansk is worse. Now, I want to draw your attention to the city of Kharkiv. And just for reference, in case folks do not know, and I'll look at that in a second, this is basically in that red rectangle there, the city of Kharkiv. Of course, it's designed in the old Soviet round highway systems down to the center. But it's taking a lot of damage. 134 out of the 174 schools. Yes, I've got all these facts tonight for you. 134 out of the 174 schools in the city of Kharkiv have been damaged or destroyed. Only 40 schools of the 174 have not taken damage. That tells you what the enemy is doing, what they're targeting. They're trying to erase Ukraine off the planet, and we're standing and fighting against that. Kharkiv is under nonstop drone. I don't want to say artillery. Longer range artillery is hitting the northern side of Kharkiv for sure. But drone and S-300 missiles are hitting Kharkiv daily. Daily. Not regularly, not every week, daily. Kharkiv is a city under siege. And maybe you're here tonight and you're saying, okay, Greg, I've never watched your streams before. From the northern part of Kharkiv, and from the northern part of the urban is about here, to Russian positions is how far? It's 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers from Russian positions to the northern band of Kharkiv. So it's very, very close. So that's Kharkiv. And I'm seeing all your chats there. Chris Smith, this is crazy and very sad. Putin is a piece of four dots. Yes, I would agree with that. Kenny Luden, nice to see you in the chat. Possum Nafo, RU is what happens when citizens don't stand up to government bad behavior. You're correct. Let's see here. Dr. Reagan, PhD, my friend from France. Vive la France. Vive la France, Dr. Reagan. 99-cent super chat. Member for 6 months. Your 20th super chat on the live stream. Thank you for that, Dr. Reagan. LJ Boone, talking to Blonde Bombsheller. Matrix, upgrading his membership to engineer. Thank you for that. You know what, Matrix? You're trying to get in touch with me and you're upgrading. This is, well, you can see the backside now, guys. Now you're seeing some production side. But Matrix, this is for you.
Slava Ukraini.
There you go, Matrix. That's for you. Now I've got to get back to that. And I've got to go back to that. Dave Bowen, thank you for that comment there. Yes, I'm enjoying your stream. I appreciate that. And Dr. Reagan responding, Miles merci. Thank you, Dr. Reagan. Aaron Lee, thank you for that. FM, I'm going through, boom, boom, boom. I've got them all caught up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a special thank you to the mods tonight. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you, Dunk. You're smoking it. And thank you, BB. You are smoking as well. Couldn't do it without you guys. Really couldn't. Especially, well, never. But especially when I'm on mobile setup. All right, guys. Tonight, we're now going to look at where President Zelensky talked about for the remainder of the stream. Reminder, we are about 20 minutes away from drawing and raffling for the flag. Moderators will take care of it. If you haven't signed up yet, this is an autographed battle flag that you can win. You just sign up on the link pinned in the chat, or the moderators will drop it for you to click the link. Yes, email a name, and nothing. It gets deleted. I just need your name that I can call it online that you're comfortable with. And if you have to be here in the chat to win, I send you an email. You give me your postal address. I send it in the mail to you. I've mailed these all around the world. And it's just our way of saying thank you. All right, guys, now we focus on what President Zelensky said. Zelensky said we're having some struggles in Kupiansk. Kupiansk is right there. For reference sake of what we were just talking about, this is Kharkiv. This is Kupiansk. You may ask, Greg, if you were to leave Kharkiv and drive to Kupiansk, how long would it take? Okay. From the very center of Kharkiv, the very center. I love doing this Frontline update where I can just focus on the map. Like, I know this place like the back of my hand. It's 27 years working here in Ukraine. 27 years now. Well, 27 come January. 26. So how long does it take to get from the center of Kharkiv by car to Kupiansk? 1 hour. You leave Kharkiv, you come, there's a couple ways you can go. There's no OPSEC here, guys. It's a map. You come down through Chiguev, the road splits. This road goes to Izum and on down to Kramatorsk. The road splits and goes right to Kupiansk. Kupiansk is a regional center city, very important pre-war population, about 35,000 people. And Kupiansk and Borova are under massive attack. So now that you know where they're at, I want to zoom in a little bit. I'll go back to black to make it easy. The city of Kupiansk is here, and the city of Borova is here. The road I was sharing with you that we drive in on, we come right through here into Kupiansk. There is a paved road that, remember, paved roads are the most important, that comes out of Russian-controlled territory through Zaporizhzhia and right down into Kupiansk. Ukraine can't do really anything with that road right now. I mean, they're defending it, but Russia has control of that paved road here north of Kupiansk. The other paved road leaves Kupiansk and comes south, down, crosses the river right here where Russia has pushed in. This bridge is blown. There is no bridge. This bridge is blown. The paved highway runs from Russian-controlled territory down to Borova. When I was just in Ukraine, we were in Borova. And yes, you can hear the artillery, you can hear the drones, you can hear everything. It's a dangerous place to be. You say, okay, well, if the bridge is blown, how did you get across to Borova? Good question. Pontoon bridge. Well, where is that? I can't tell you, but it crosses the river. And Ukraine, of course, with their security, moves it. And if you guys are ever wondering about that tonight, since we're talking about front lines only, when Ukraine installs pontoon bridges, they have soldiers guarding those, of course. They have the best air defense they can have, maybe drone jammers and all of that around those to protect. There's no OPSEC there. And soldiers are very well placed to protect it. And once you get, because we run a lot of cameras, of course, and everywhere we go on the front, they know what we're doing, and we have permissions for everything we film. But once you get within X meters, whatever X is, of these pontoon bridges, cameras have to be off, of course. It's not even permitted, not even where you even get close to it. I'm sharing this with you so that you know that operational security is at work. So there is a pontoon bridge, and this is how we get on this side of the river. Russia will not, and let me clear this, the river comes right down from Kupiansk, just like this. So if you're worrying right now that if Russia makes a huge push, they can go back for Izum, or they can push in this way toward Kharkiv, not going to happen. Not going to happen. What's the barricade? The river is the barricade. This terrain right here is like mountains. It's like, not like the Rockies, of course, or the Sierra Nevada or the Swiss Alps. It's like the mountains of Pennsylvania, the mountains of Virginia, the Blue Ridge Mountains. it's hills for real mountains, but it's significant. So they're not getting through there. But can they take Kupiansk? Yes. Are they pressuring Kupiansk? Yes. Can they take Borova? Yes. Are they pressuring Borova? Yes. Does Russia gain anything by taking Borova? No. Do they gain anything by taking Kupiansk? Absolutely, because it is a larger city that becomes a hub for them, and it's why it's so important. This is why you keep hearing about Kupiansk. I can tell you that at 2:30 today in Ukraine, 2:30 local time in Ukraine, 5 different assault pushes came from Russia towards Kupiansk simultaneously. Ukraine defended all 5. Ukraine did a good job today. I can also confirm for you that Russians were wearing Ukrainian uniforms today when they made the assault on Kupiansk. Now you think about that for a moment. They were dressed up in the uniform of the enemy. Now, I am not an expert on rules of war, but I'm sure in our chat here right now, there's some veterans or people that know. I'm pretty sure that's a war crime. It is illegal to dress in the uniform of your enemy. Yeah, they're coming in here telling it now. Johnny Nedregard, my man, in the chat. Welcome to you from Norway. Darren Vaughn checking in. $1.99, my redneck brother here from somewhere in Virginia. I'm late. What's up, gang? Welcome. Okay, so thank you. Everybody's telling me my power's out. Gotta love Buckingham. Thank you guys for confirming that. It is a war crime. And I'm telling you right now, 100% confirmed. Russian soldiers dressed up in Ukrainian uniforms today for that assault on Kupiansk. Now, Ukraine held it. So, Borova, important. Kupiansk, vitally important. And that is why President Zelensky, that's why I started with that address today. In fact, I want to zoom in now to Kupiansk, and I want to give you a satellite image. And this will help you understand. You guys see Kupiansk there? It's a big place. If you include the suburbs, which, okay, I'm going to teach you guys something right now about Ukraine. Okay. Okay, that's Kupiansk. And I know you see the red. They're getting close. They're getting very close to Kupiansk. And that is coming down the paved highway. There's another paved highway here, but this is the key one. And they are getting closer. I will teach you guys one thing here about what Ukraine is doing to get the Soviet Union out of their vernacular, out of their country. If you see right here, this suburb of Kupiansk, you may not be able to see it on if you're watching on your phone or tablet, but that region of Kupiansk is called Moskovka. Moskovka. What does Moskovka mean? Moscow. Moskovka. It's named for Moscow. Ukraine may have already changed that name. Everywhere they're seeing these names that were named after Soviet cities, they are being taken out. But you can see, I know you've seen it on the news or you've seen it on social media and you hear about Kupiansk, but most people do not realize how big Kupiansk is. And that is why Russia wants it so badly. And Ukraine needs it so badly. Huge hub here. I've been in Kupiansk many, many, many times, and beautiful city. For reference point, in case you guys want to know, I'll just take it to the center. I'm not going to take it. If I take it to the, it's 2.49 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers into Kupiansk. But if it's from where they're at, here to the very center, which is right there, as the crow flies, it's 5 kilometers. 5. It's why President Zelensky said tonight, Kupiansk. He called it. Let me go around and give you the other places. About 10, 15 minutes, we're going to draw for the flag, guys. Mods, thank you for that. I now just want to come down. In fact, let me zoom out and then show you. Let's do it this way. Poltava, Dnipro, Zaporizhzhia. I'll change colors now, go to black. This was Kupiansk, just so you can see it. Kharkiv is right here. So this is trouble area number 1. Trouble area number 2 is Toretsk. You may say, okay, Greg, where is Toretsk? Toretsk is right there. That's where Toretsk is. Toretsk is on the southeastern side of Konstantinivka, which is a key city, and just south of Chasiv Yar and Bakhmut area. So we're going to zoom in now to Toretsk. And there's just one thing I want to show you here in Toretsk. There, we zoomed in proper. And we'll do it right there. Chasiv Yar, Toretsk, Konstantinivka, Druzhkivka. So, well, that doesn't look too bad. Okay. All of these towns now, I like it being zoomed on this one. You need to understand it. Konstantinivka, big city. Druzhkivka, big city. In fact, this whole line right here is urban. All of that's all urban. And it wraps around to Kramatorsk and to Slavyansk. All urban, pre-war, with all the suburbs and little villages, 500,000 people in all of those cities and regions combined. Not now. But Chasiv Yar, little town, 11,000, 12,000 pre-war. Toretsk, bigger town, 28,000, 32,000 pre-war. The problem is we're getting a 2-line ability to push onto Konstantinivka. That's the problem. And from Toretsk, because this is what they want to smash, and it's being smashed every day with drones. Russia is constantly hitting this road and constantly hitting this road. And Chasiv Yar gives them the position to strike into southern Konstantinivka. And once Toretsk, if Toretsk falls, everything else you see here, and I will change it to just green and I'll color. Let's go with that. Everything you see here and all of this, every bit of it, all of it is rural. You may say, oh, but I see lots of towns there. I see lots of villages there. It's what you see. Little villages, 200 people, 400 people, family farming communities that were named after the family from 100 years ago. That's what a majority of those towns are. Very rural. This is why Toretsk is so important. Now, I'm going to take it a step further and zoom into Toretsk for you. You know, when I come off of this map and I go to satellite, you can begin to see how big Toretsk is. Toretsk wraps all the way around, and it wraps back way into here. So Russia is controlling, unfortunately, into the very center of Toretsk, which is right there. They do have, and I had multiple confirmations of that today before I'm sharing this with you. Russia does have the center of Toretsk. Now, there's a lot more to go, but this area in Toretsk, just so you understand, is just homes. It's not the high-rise buildings. These are just simple streets, homes by homes. The majority and the bulk of the big city of Toretsk is already, unfortunately, right here under Russian control. This gives Russia the taller buildings, the 9-story buildings, the 5-story buildings, because everything in the blue here is basically suburban streets, and it looks like village homes all lined up. So Toretsk right now, Ukraine is holding it, but they have lost the center of Toretsk, and Toretsk, once that goes, you can then see, guys, what I'm showing on the satellite. It's just rural. Look out here. All of this is rural. Just fields and fields and little teeny villages. All right, so that's Toretsk. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you. Hey, guys, 8-9 minutes here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Christopher Smith, welcome to, thank you, Dunk. Thank you for new crew member. And Petra Olsen. I'm up late, too. Up late with the Swedish non-smoking initiative. Petra gave up smoking and her purchase of cigarettes and donates that money to Ukraine nonstop. Petra, thank you as always, with love to Ukraine. All right, now we're going to, and Buffy, the Vatnik Slayer, Blonde Bombsheller, you are a super mod. No question. No question. Dunk on You 23 is a beast. Annette helps us a lot. She's a mod for the shills, but she's been so helpful to us. A beast. And we have other moderators. Skeghead from Australia. Nate out of California. Jeffrey out of California. We've got such a good team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. $5 super chat coming in from Papa Dutch regarding Toretsk. Why does this remind me of Malibu being overrun by the homeless? Only Papa Dutch can do chats like that and get away with it. Thank you. Oh, my man. Sweet 70433. Remembering Pete. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What are those red squares mean? Oh, okay. I'm glad I saw that. Thank you. Dimensional legend God, what do those red squares mean? I will tell you. It's not the best news. So, anywhere you see the red squares, all of these things, just look like that. So, this is the analysis done by Deep State, and I'm using Deep State's map tonight. I go between 4 or 5 sources, but for the live tonight, I wanted to use Deep State. So all of those red squares, what are they? They are units of Russian soldiers, and they actually update the movement of those. So I will show you. In fact, I'm going to look at this right here. So let's just for an example, do you see? Okay, I'm going to teach you how to read this map. All right, I'm having fun, guys. All right, and we're going to look at this area in just a second. But you can see the arrows indicate Russian assaults and pushes. That's what those indicate. But they will be out by, and this is just below Pokrovsk here, but then behind them are units that are then transferred. You say, well, how does Ukraine know this? Same way Russia knows where Ukraine's troops are. It's special ops behind the lines. It's Ukrainians that are in occupied territory getting information out to Ukrainian soldiers, or on the Ukrainian side, it's collaborators who are helping Russia win. And all this information is being exchanged. It's satellite, it's photography, it's drones, everything. That's where the information comes from. So now watch these units move. Pay attention not to the arrows, but to the red squares, and you'll have your answer. Watch them. You see the move right there. So once they took territory, the positions move. Go back. I mean, I hate showing this one, but it's just truth. You can see the move. I'll even slow the click down. We'll go from November the 1st, 2nd. Just watch. Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible, ugly swarm coming. So, yeah, Starlink as well, Leslie Bowe. Good, good. All right, let's go back. I'm glad I saw that question because I don't have all my screens up to see it. So I'm glad I caught that one. All right, so we now want to talk about Kurakhove. Let me go out. I want to make sure you know where Kurakhove is. And we're talking about the two places in the Donetsk Oblast, specifically Zelensky was talking about. Of course, Toretsk is in the Donetsk Oblast, as well as Konstantinivka and Chasiv Yar. That's all Donetsk Oblast. Kramatorsk, Donetsk Oblast. Slavyansk, Donetsk Oblast. But down here, tough. I want to cover this all at one time, and let's call it mods like a 10-minute call for the flag giveaway. Here's the city of Zaporizhzhia, guys. Here's the city of Dnipro in the red. I want to talk backwards on this for a second. Russia cannot take Zaporizhzhia. Period. It's just not possible. Yes, a lot. I'm going to come back to Kurakhove, but I want you to understand the big picture. A lot of Russian soldiers are piling in right here. Right here. And you may ask, where is that? Well, that is Robotny and right below Kharkiv. Russia wants Kharkiv. Can they get Kharkiv right down here? Yes, they can get Kharkiv. Can they get Zaporizhzhia? No. Why do they want Kharkiv? All right, I will tell you, very simple. Right now, what Russia wants to do is just turn Zaporizhzhia into Kharkiv number 2. They want to shell it. They want to long-range shell artillery, which they're close enough for certain long-range units. But more importantly, drones, S-300s. They want to smash Zaporizhzhia. And Zaporizhzhia is now being hit regularly, not to the level of Kharkiv, but very close. It's relatively daily incomings into Zaporizhzhia, the city, not the region, the city. And that's a huge city, over 1 million people. Why do they want Kharkiv? Because where Russia is located, all in this region right here, is very low ground. Very low. So they're aiming way uphill. Everything is massively uphill here. I'm talking like that, coming up. But it's not OPSEC, it's just a fact. Right above Kharkiv here, right there, it goes up to a very high place. I've been there many, many times. Right there, very high place. That territory right there, no OPSEC, Ukraine knows it, Russia knows it, and anybody that's been down here anytime serving knows it. That's the golden goose right there. So when you're looking and you see Russia pushing in from the south of Kharkiv, of course, we don't like it. We don't like losing a millimeter. But Kharkiv pretty much is already destroyed. I've been in Kharkiv. I know Kharkiv very well. I've rode through every street with the military in Kharkiv. It's destroyed. There are very, very few people left in Kharkiv. And Kharkiv, 8 to 10,000 population, tells you the size of Kharkiv. But the northern part of Kharkiv, that's the golden goose. Ukraine has it. It's well fortified. It's well defended. And that location is why Ukraine is able to defend this southern front so well. Why you've seen Russia stopped at Robotny for months and months and months, because Ukraine has the advantage 100%. So keep your eye on Kharkiv for that reason. Now, last thing, and then we're going to draw the flag. There's Zaporizhzhia. This is the road that comes into Pokrovsk. And this is the road that comes into Kurakhove. That's it. No other paved roads. There is one paved road that connects Pokrovsk, and it comes right like this down to a city named Konstantin and its sister little town called Andriivka. And right now, Russia is trying to smash that paved road with artillery and drones. They're pushing on Kurakhove and they're pushing on Pokrovsk. This is a very troubled area right now for Ukraine. So troubled that Zelensky will call it out specifically. Kupiansk, Donetsk. And that doesn't mean the city. That means Pokrovsk, and that means Kurakhove. And Toretsk, which we looked at. So we're going to zoom into that, and I'm going to show you that so you understand it, and we'll be done with the Frontline update. What I'm getting ready to show you now is the bar none, most important battles on the entire front line in the whole war. Right here, what I'm getting ready to show you. Let's zoom in and take a peek. We're going to start first with Kurakhove. If you saw my short video or the video I did with Professor Gertis, Professor Gertis gave me a good compliment today on one of his videos. He says, the information I provided for his channel, we did a little video on the front line about this dam being blown on Kurakhove, and then I did a video on it. He says, Greg, your analysis was before Institute for the Study of War, number one. And number two, it was exactly what the Institute for Study of War said. I said, Prof, talking privately, I said, you may know the Constitution, but I know Ukraine, man. I'm telling you, I know this map. I go to all these places. I've been on that dam. I've been on the dam that's been blown up. I know exactly what it looks like, and I know what's important about it. So I took that as a compliment, and I'm appreciative that people are appreciative that I can break down the map this much for them. So here we go, guys. You now know where we're at in Kurakhove here. This is not good. This is not good. Where I told you Kursk was good news. Kurakhove is not good news. That's the lake. The dam was blown right there at Stary Tirnu, and Dachny, Shevchenko, Stary Tirnu. These regions have to be evacuated. They're not going to flood, but they're going to be unusable villages due to the amount of water that's coming through. And it was a good move on the Russian military. So number one, I can tell you, It was not Ukraine blowing the dam. This dam being blown does not help Ukraine slow a Russian advance. And thank you for that question, Jason. This hurts Ukraine. Russia in their advance is not coming through the reservoir at Kurakhove and I'll zoom in now so you guys can see it a little better. They're not going to be coming out of Kurakhove through the water in the Kurakhove reservoir and try to take Starty Tierney and Dachny and Shevchenko. It's nothing. It makes no sense. What is most important right here, remember, is the paved road. Guys, Kurakhove is here. I'll do the satellite in a second. Dachny is here. Starty Tierney is here. The dam was blown there. You got that? So what happens? What happens is like I explained in the video, and I won't go too much. If you didn't see that, you can go back and check it. I don't want to bore people. But Starty Tierney, Dachny, and Shevchenko were support villages for Ukrainian soldiers and logistics to support coming down to this paved road into Kurakhove to fight for Kurakhove. So when this is blown, Ukrainian soldiers have to go this way. They have to back up. This benefits Ukraine zero. This was logistically a good move. And I'll tell you the truth, for Russia, this was a good move. With that said, now that you've got Kurakhove, let me give you the satellite image and give you a couple distances, and then you'll understand it. It's no bueno, guys. Sorry, but I'm going to tell you the truth here. Let's do it from this angle right here. Kurakhove is a long city. Well, not that long, but narrow. It's like this. I'm outlining it for you. And it's right along the Kurakhove Reservoir. It's the Volcha River. That's Kurakhove. Kurakhove has been a fortress city for Ukraine for over 10 years. And it still is. Behind that, the village of Dachny, Starty Tierney, and right here is Shevchenko. I'm going to tell you now that Russia has taken some territory, and Dalny here on the south. They've taken Ilinka, and they're pushing toward Beretsky here on the northern side. As you can tell, if Russia is here, like this, then of course we have Ukrainians all in here. So I hate talking about this stuff, but it's the truth. It gives Russia the artillery. They're hammering it. That's the story of Kurakhove right now. It's very sad. Additionally, we are having some issues just below Kurakhove. If you look at this village line here, Konstantin, all the way down to Ilinka, it's all along a little basin there. Once again, it's the same picture. And yes, out here, all rural, no big deal. But this line here is very, very dangerous for the Ukrainian soldiers right now. And received no word that they're, evacuating or pulling back, but they are under intense pressure and fighting. So now you've seen the zoom in. Now I'm going to zoom out and show you the time lapse on it. Okay. Just going to go back to the 1st of November. Okay. And this is accurate, guys. This is accurate. Kurakhove right here. Just watch. One day. This is when the village of Kurakhove fell. Was November the 1st. It was a huge push. I'm coming on through November now. I mean, it's just like a plague coming across. But with that said, Ukraine defending to the very best of their ability. The last place, and this is relatively relatively okay. I'm really zoomed out here because it's much closer. That's Pokrovsk and Mirnograd. Russia pushing all these directions for Lysivsky here, Lysivsky, and then pushing right into the south side of Mirnograd. And once again, they're about, well, let me just zoom in for you so you can see. When I zoom in, it looks different, you know. I'm really zoomed in here on the south side of Mirnograd. This is the south side of Mirnograd. Right there. Mykolaievka, Krasny Yar, Russia has. You may say, okay, man, tell me how far that is. We'll just go from Mykolaievka here. Let's just take it into the circle. There's a circle right there. 2.46 kilometers. 2.46 kilometers. Tough. Tough. That's on the south side of Mirnograd. And when I say tough, what does that mean? The shelling that these guys are under, the drones, it's very intense. One of the last things I want to show you here is, well, I'll show you another one here. You guys see, when I'm telling you Ukraine is, I can tell you already this one has been changed, but you see the name of the town? Moskovsky. It's another one after Moscow. That name has already been gone. I know this area well. But this is what they were. This is what Ukraine is breaking out of. And we're helping them do that. Unfortunately, we have a really good push from Russia up below Petrivka here. And the reason that this is important is because of Shevchenko, Novotroitsk, Novoplenivka, Ukrainka. And you say, well, why are they important? Because this is the only paved road right there. Remember, everything's about the paved roads. I promise you, you are going to hear more and more and more about the importance of paved roads as this war goes forward. I'm just telling you. Trust me on that one. Trust me on that one. So, I'll give you one more thing, then we'll go raffle the flag. And we'll give you a piece of Ukrainian. Did you guys know there is a Konstantinopol in Ukraine? Andriivka, but Konstantinopol. Yeah, the famous city name like Constantinople. Historically, there in Turkey. There's a Constantinople in Ukraine. But the paved road I'm talking about, and this will give you a good picture of it right there. And this is what we'll close with. And get ready, guys. If you haven't signed up for the raffle, you got about 1 minute. 1 minute. Here is Pokrovsk. Here is Kurakhove. Here is Constantinople and Andriivka and Shevchenko. The paved road comes just like this, and then it winds down the hill to Andriivka and Constantinople. Russia pushing here, 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 and here. And you say, well, why are they pushing there? Because they want to completely destroy that road, and they're doing it. Zhenya and I have ridden on this road dozens and dozens of times. And when you're right on this road and you look back this way, you can see all the villages burning from the fights going on. Just smoke blazing You can see when you get close to some flames. I mean, you see it all. But this road was passable. And now it's getting to the point that it's not passable. And as you can tell, it would be a major supply between Pokrovsk and down to Constantinople into Kurakhove. And I remind you, in the last color, paved roads is what we'll stop with. Pokrovsk paved road coming in, and then Kurakhove paved road coming in. That's the whole story right there. I will tell you this. I haven't measured this myself. I know how long it takes, but just center of Kurakhove, center of Pokrovsk on a straight line. 33 kilometers. Okay. I expected it to be 50. 33. Think about that for a moment. 30. You know, when we talk about, oh, Kurakhove way down there, Pokrovsk up here, and you may think in your mind, oh, they're 100 kilometers apart, maybe. No. It's 33 kilometers. They're close. They're very, very close. So, guys, this has been an in-depth look at the front, and I really hope that you have enjoyed it. Jason Thomas, learned many new things tonight. Thank you for what you do. Greg, you're very welcome. Thank you. Let me catch up on super chats here. Papa Dutch, I got yours. Brent Alred, $10 super chat. Thank you, sir, for your support. Mitch Ashdown, Canadian 20. I don't mind giving YouTube a bit for enabling you coming to us, Greg. Mitch Ashdown, thank you. And you guys know we have so many ways to give and to help and to donate. And I can tell you, as soon as Jania drops these last two Kosovacs, you're gonna think there's a I think there's a NAFO thing coming, partnership between Gertis and I. Something special. Pay attention. It'll be another way to help. Appatalks gifting 1 membership. Thank you, my friend, for being here and doing that. B-Lady Appy, the B-Lady Apiary, $10 super chat. Did you hear Biden might step down so Kamala can be lame duck? So the question is, did I hear that? The answer is yes. Do I think that will happen? No. Is anything possible in this world we live in? Yes. But time will tell, and we shall see. Nancy Blair, very informative tonight. Thank you so much for that. I deeply appreciate it. All right, guys, let's do it to it. I want to thank you. We have 115 responses in for 116. Somebody, you got it at the last second. Thank you for that. I'm going to call it now as closed. Everybody, good luck. I am putting the names. Carl L. Well, you getting in here at the last second. My brother from Las Vegas. All right, list of names going in. All right. Here we go. I'm going to now switch that off. And we're going to go that, and I'm going to go that. All right. Possum, you got an address. Upchuck 313, let me say something to you. Upchuck 313, sorry, I don't have extra money to help out with these drives. Upchuck, that's okay. You're here. You're supporting. You're helping me grow. You're sharing it. You want to know how you can help? Go tell somebody else the truth about Ukraine and help us get the message out. Thank you. All right, here we go. All the names are in. Can I get here's a Mercado Plus or Dunk or somebody. Can you guys tell me, or BB, are you seeing that on the screen? I'm sorry, guys. I'm on the road. And no, not with all my gadgets at home. Do you see the names in there? Plus. Perfect. Thank you. All right, here we go, guys. So the names are in. We're going to have one winner. And we're going to go Wheel of Names. And theme color or wheel settings. Yeah. Oh, let's go. Let's go love tonight. We're going to show Ukraine some love on the wheel. And we go there, and now you should see the wheel. All of your guys' names are in here. Here we go, and I will tell you, good luck to all of you. You're seeing it. Mr. Right, я тут. Mr. Right, я тоже тут. И я очень рад. Вы здесь. Дякую, дорогой. All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody. Wheel is spinning. And the winner tonight is Bobo Uzala. Bobo Uzala. Bobo Uzala. Now, we're going to go, I've got to go back. Mods, I need your help, or others in the chat. Let me go to that. Bobo. Oh, Bobo, you're here. There you go. Bobo Uzala is here. Bobo Uzala. Congratulations. I actually have seen, thank you, Nick. I've actually seen your name in a lot of chats because that name is pretty memorable. And congratulations. Thank you. I'm going to send you an email immediately after this stream after this stream. Man, I'm out of gas. After I stop the stream, I'm going to immediately send you an email and just reply with your mailing address, and I'll get this one in the mail. It's this one right here. Congratulations, Bobo Uzala. Guys, thank you for being here tonight. Really, really in-depth look at the front lines. If you have people that don't understand the front lines of Ukraine tonight, I gave you a really good look at it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending all this time with me. Oh my goodness, we went almost an hour and 45 minutes. I'm getting like Rick the Ukrainian stream here, but it was worth looking at it all, and I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate it. Tomorrow, looking at doing a video with Professor Curtis just on all these picks and trying to understand it. And then, of course, updates on Ukraine. Saturday, I'm traveling back to Pennsylvania. I'll be in Pennsylvania all next week. We'll be living as normal. And then the following weekend, I'm speaking in Los Angeles. If anybody in here is out in Los Angeles, give me a shout. I'll be in Los Angeles speaking just over the weekend and then back to Pennsylvania. Yes, I travel a lot. And I will be returning to Ukraine after Christmas. They are running the front lines for the months of January and February. You guys be blessed. Thank you for all that you do. And moderators, thank you. You guys are amazing. Could not do it without you. Everybody be blessed. Have a great Wednesday night or Thursday, wherever you're at. Good night.
Slava Ukraini!